Today is April 29. I am here at the farmhouse trying to paint some of the trims. So that includes the closets, and I have 11 more windows to paint. The first one I'm gonna do is I'm gonna caulk all these joints before I paint it. That will dry in about 30 minutes. And then I'm gonna start painting. So my goal is to get at least one room done. I have a total of 11 windows and 3 closets to paint. After doing a couple of window frames, now I'm getting a little bit more efficient. So one thing I learned is that I need gloves, using this dollar store cheap gardening gloves because it's hard on my finger. I have a wet rag that I just use to wipe the finger off as I am smoothing it out. And then all I do is caulk all the cracks that I want to hide with the paint, which is where the trim meets the window, definitely, and where the 2 trims are meeting. So I need to do slower movements. And sometimes you have to wipe off your tip because that way it's gonna go in smoother. I'm not going to worry about anything down here with the apron or anything on the very top unless I see a big crack, because the paint will cover that anyway and nobody can really see it. So next I'm going to take again my wet gloved finger. I'm going to start smoothing out and wiping as I go along so it doesn't carry over too much if I have any extra. And I think I did pretty good because it's not a lot of things I have to wipe off. So I didn't waste a lot of caulk. I'll wipe off anything extra. Everything needs to be kind of smooth. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, using my fingers, I'm gonna fill in the nail holes. So for example, there's a nail, and earlier I went around and anything that was sticking out I went in and hammered them in with a nail setter. So since I'm filming, I'm gonna do it with one hand, but I would put the caulk on my finger. So pretend I'm putting it on my finger and then just pushing it into the nail holes, and I'll come back and wipe that off. It's hard to do it with one hand, but because I would have my wet rag in my other hand to wipe these smooth. So anyway, that's what I'm doing now, just going around and try to cover up as much of the holes as possible, so I'm not gonna have an indentation with the paint on it. Because I only want to do one coat of paint. So I'm done with caulking all the windows and the closets. I actually didn't have to caulk 2 windows, they were already done, so I ended up caulking 9 windows and 3 closets, and I used up 2 tubes of caulk. Like this one, I'm on the 3rd one, just for any touch-ups that I need to do. So that went well. Now I'm gonna go around and sand down the edges, and also I need to still touch up some of the holes, nail holes. But because I used the really rough wood to make these trims, I'm gonna have to sand down the edges a little bit so they're not gonna be so sharp. And I've done that before on other windows, like those that I painted already. So this is nothing special, just really I'm going to do this corner, all the edges around the outside, so especially here in the windowsill where someone can bump into it, right? I don't want it to be too sharp, so I'm using a really rough sanding pad, and this fine sands really easy anyway. So I'm just gonna do like 2-3 passes really, and then again all the corners, outer edges that someone can bump into. I kind of want to do it like back and forth instead of just up and down, because it will cut my sandpaper, I think. It's just so sharp. And this is just for looks. I don't have any looks to show you. And again, the edge is gonna look better when I paint it. I finished painting only 2 windows and 1 closet, only because I'm running out of paint and time. But all the other ones are caulked, but it looks good. I have to do some touch-ups, but for most it looks really good. See you next time.